So what's going on here is they're accusing this gentleman who's the auditor of embezzling. If he's an auditor, how would he do that? And then spying. For example, not knowing that the cardinal had not paid his Social Security money. And he's saying these are things that he would not normally have known about. So there's some kind of counter spying, reverse spying going on here. And once he starts figuring out, this gentleman here, the auditor, they get rid of him. Libero here, you can see him on the screen, and his former deputy are trying to clear their name. They're saying, we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't embezzle. We have been falsely accused by the Pope, the Secretary of the State, Cardinal Becciu, the Vatican in general. We have been falsely accused, and we want to clear our name, and we want $10 million in damages. They claim that they were forced out of their positions. And you heard, as you in the interview just now, they wrecked their offices, they took away their personal phone, their personal iPad, etc. Now, the interesting part here is the role of Pope Francis, and that's probably why you're watching right now. All right, well, Pope Francis created the Vatican's first ever Office of Auditor General in 2015. This was lauded by all the Francis fans. Oh, Pope Francis is finally going to clean up. He's going to clean up shop. He's serious about getting rid of corruption. They bring in auditors, and as soon as they get to work, they're fired. They're raided, they're kicked out, and they're accused of espionage and embezzlement as soon as they begin their job. The chief accuser of these two men is Cardinal Becciu. And you know Cardinal Becciu because I always say, I bet you Cardinal Becciu knows where the skeletons are. Now, Cardinal Becciu accused them of spying on the private lives of superiors and staff, including me. And he said, quote, if he had not agreed to resign, we would have prosecuted him. Maloney told reporters that, quote, a small group of powers were trying to defame his reputation. He said, I was threatened with arrest. The head of the Vatican police intimidated me and forced me to sign a resignation letter that they had already prepared weeks in advance. So the Vatican police, you're not being called in to talk to Pope Francis or the Cardinal Secretary of State. The Vatican police are serving him. Maloney also said that during the last 7 years, he had written 7 letters to Pope Francis, quote, asking for an audience to illustrate my position regarding this event. But I have never received answers, and I have doubts as to whether these letters ever reached him. This kind of reminds us of everyone else who disagrees with the Pope or has problems with the Pope trying to talk with him. You know, we're Catholics. We're Christians. We're supposed to go to one another. You know, you see Cardinal Zen with all the nonsense going on with the Patriotic State Church in China. He's trying to talk to Pope Francis, to warn him, to discuss it, to dialogue. Pope Francis won't even meet with him. And here again, we have the former auditor writing letters. Hey, I need to talk to you. Can I get an explanation? No response. He also says that through Cardinal Parolin, he had recently discovered that Pope Francis had put, quote, a pontifical secret on the story of my resignation. So much for transparency of the current pontificate. It's classified. That's what the pontifical secret's like in the church. Why would Pope Francis put the papal secret over the story of his resignation? Something is not right. Something is rotten in the state of the Vatican.